When I got out of public office, I wanted to do something, and I started to focus on just homeless kids. I never realized how totally screwed up the foster care system was and how tough it is for these young people to survive, much less flourish.
Each year in California, there are over 400,000 reports of child abuse. Many of those are substantiated. And it's really important to understand that a young person doesn't enter foster care lightly. And these young people face special challenges as they age, as they get closer to becoming young adults.
I was sent into the foster care system because my mother, she was a drug addict. And my father, he was an illegal immigrant at the time, so he couldn't take me into guardianship.
I entered the foster care system at the age of 2 when both of my parents became incarcerated, facing life sentences. And a year after being incarcerated, my mom was murdered in prison.
Historically, foster care ended at age 18. And as anyone who is a parent knows, there is a lot more maturation and development that happens after that time. We really have to ask ourselves, why are we asking the most of young people who have the least?
It's a real crucial period where you need a lot of love and support. And if you don't have that, the metrics, I think, speak for themselves. The deck is really stacked against these kids.
We are almost primarily responsible for raising the age from 18 to 21 for states to have kids in the program.
This is an approach that has been replicated in 21 states nationally, and since it was implemented, over 30,000 young people have benefited from this assistance.
I was adopted right after I was sent to the foster care system. There was a lot of physical and emotional abuse. Between the age of 15 to 18, I was going in and out of foster homes, shelters, safe houses. And then there was a point in time in my life that I kind of lost hope.
Growing up in foster care, I moved around a lot, and most of the time I was behind in academics. Everyone told me I would either be dead or in prison, just like my parents. It would be a vicious cycle.
18 years old, I packed my bags. I had to leave with whatever was on my back. I went to Delta College, and you're learning everything on your own. We don't have a family. I did horrible for several semesters. I lost the support of Delta College financial aid, and I lost the support of my scholarship.
I didn't see college as an option because I figured I'd have to work full-time in order to survive.
John Burton Advocates for Youth works with youth who are transitioning to young adulthood, and we really work to ensure that they have access to housing, access to higher education, and other material supports.
It's an organization that really has its ear to the ground for what foster kids in California really need. JBAY is leading the charge to figure out how to increase benefits and awareness around the transitional housing opportunities for foster kids.
And I love how JBAY is focused on what can we do now? What is the answer in real time in campuses, understanding the subtle nuances that what works in Fresno will not work in San Francisco, will not work in LA. Our board is so thrilled to see how JBAY's grown and to see how our investments have grown tenfold since we've been in partnership.
When the pandemic hit, many adult children returned home to their families, but where were youth in foster care or youth experiencing homelessness supposed to go? The truth is they had nowhere to go, and they had no one to help them. At John Burton Advocates for Youth, we quickly sprang into action. We advocated for a moratorium on all youth exiting out of foster care. We worked collaboratively statewide to ensure that young people had the technology and the Wi-Fi access to stay involved in school. And we also worked federally to ensure that they had direct cash assistance so that they had the money to meet their material needs.
Knowing that there's an organization out there that is supporting us and being the voice for all the youth who don't have voices, and just knowing that someone cares.
It's always those small little differences in a person's life that can change everything. I was able to live my own because of transitional housing. I went to the University of the Pacific, my dream university. And then you have today that I'm at University of Southern California, another big highlight in my life.
What's really happening at John Burton Advocates for Youth is policy change on a statewide and sometimes national level, so that we're able to lift up the great ideas, work with our legislators to codify them into state law, and have that change impact all young people.
This past year, we were able to get $48 million annually allocated to support programming specifically for foster youth across all three systems, the community colleges, Cal State universities, and University of California campuses.
We can do it together, and we're seeing amazing strides with our young people. Ones in which they've graduated, gone to grad school, are coming back and becoming our leader. And that's when it's the most wonderful thing, when you really see that it is really bigger than any one of us.
They just need somebody to give them a little boost. Or if they fall, pick them up. They do it. I mean, they're just like resilient, they're tough, they're smart, they're beautiful, but they all want to do something for somebody else. And these are kids that nobody did any goddamn thing for them.